Yes, guys, welcome to Full Time Devils. I am Adam McKola. He is Stephen Howson. Today, we are joined by Stretty News' Dale, CheekySport's Dave, and Statman Dave as well. And this is the Manchester United against Juventus preview. I cannot wait for this one. Champions League football is back at Old Trafford, as is Cristiano Ronaldo. But before we go any further, Sky Bet are back on this preview and they've offered us an exclusive price boost for this game. Romelu Lukaku to score first. He's due a goal as well. It's gone from 6-1 to 8-1. The link's in the description below. 18 plus, T's and C's apply. And we're going to get stuck into the preview now. Manchester United against Juventus. What a game. Plenty of memories of this fixture.
I feel like ages
over the years.
A proper big team come to Old Trafford in the Champions League. Feels like
Bayern Munich
against
Moyes?
Yeah. In Moyes.
Well,
Moyes,
Moyes. Not against Moyes. But anyway,
like
let's get stuck into the first topic. You shush. First topic, form. Manchester United's form has been patchy, to say the least. We've seen some positive spots, we've seen some negative spots, and of course, the results have been up and down. So, we're going to go to CheekySport Dave first, because I need a little bit of positivity in my life. CheekySport Dave, what are your thoughts on United's form, and what do you make of the patchy play in our last two games? Why do you think it's like that?
I think, obviously, you've got a team that's just struggling with the pressure that they've been under. A manager's been like struggling with like a tremendous amount of pressure as well. So I think that definitely contributes heavily to that form. And I think, you know, if you're not playing well for a couple of games and then you know the media's on your back, you've got fans on your back. People don't know if they want the manager, if they don't want the manager, or the players playing for the manager. Who knows what's going on? So that definitely has an overall effect. But I think over the last couple of games, obviously the one before the international break and the one against Chelsea, we've seen a Manchester United that are, you know, back to playing in essence like with a never say die attitude. They're back to playing with a bit more passion, a bit more belief, a bit more attacking prowess than we'd seen like previously, especially in the second half of games. And I see Howson giving McKola a look there, but especially
he's always giving dirty looks in.
Especially in the second half of games, they're really showing that, you know. We want to see some professional pride from these players, and I think we're starting to see that back. And I think it's a good time to play Juve. Usually, sometimes when you see a fixture list, the way Manchester United's next few games were, well, even before the Chelsea game, it looked a bit bleak. But usually, that's when a team really steps up. So hopefully, we'll see some great things.
What I love is Dave's attention to detail. He's wore his Champions League shirt today.
He did that on purpose as well. There's no way that's an accident.
He's got his Champions League badges on, all that, respect badge.
Look at this here, whipping his balls out.
He's got his blue balls out.
Come on.
All sorts going on.
I will disagree with what he said though, saying it's a good time to play Juventus.
It's never a good time.
Nah,
but anyway,
I don't think so.
We're going to go to Dale now. Dale, have you been impressed by the signs of life that we have seen in this side? Because although the result against Chelsea felt like a defeat with a late goal, that second half performance was a lot more of what we come to expect from Manchester United.
It is, and it kind of tells me that this Man United team, although it's short in confidence, and I suppose I wouldn't say belief, but it seems to react better in moments of chaos. That game against Newcastle, the exact same thing. When backs are against the wall, we've questioned whether some of these players are behind Jose Mourinho or not. And in the past, I suppose, 2 games or so, some players have really stood out and kind of suggested otherwise, that they are behind the manager, because otherwise they would have folded their cards and accepted defeat, really, wouldn't they? They wouldn't have that kind of bounce back ability, as we used to say on Soccer AM. So I think
other weekend shows are available.
Not really. Carry on.
By the way, right.
But this United team, although confidence is low, it's a strange one. That when we're struck with chaos, that's when they react. So I think when we go into games like this game against Juventus, maybe conceding a goal, might see the reaction that we want from players. It's a strange one. Like I said to you, Adam, at the weekend, I'm confused. I don't understand where we got this second half spurt out of it. It was nowhere to be seen in that first half.
When you said concede an early goal, my mind went back to Del Piero rounding Schmeichel after 26 seconds in, what year was it? 96, 97 season?
Yeah.
What a season. Ryan Giggs got an amazing goal that day. Anyway.
Giggs was mint against Juventus, wasn't he?
Yeah, he hated.
Ryan, what are you doing this week?
Anyway, Dave, Statman Dave. Interesting to what Dale said, because I thought this after the Newcastle game as well. If the players weren't really behind the manager and they really wanted to get him sacked, the time was there to get him sacked, and they've reacted to that.
2 times.
Do you feel that these results could bring a togetherness to the team?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a big thing. It's the strangest thing with United is why can't they start as well as they play in the second half of games? Like recently, when you look at the United results against big teams, you think in a Man City game, 2 goals down. Think in a Chelsea game at home, 1 goal down, coming back and winning 2-1. This game at the weekend, where it's almost second half, this is when we play. Like something said in the dressing room at half time, now we decide to play for the shirt. And it's a really interesting thing, and it may come down to there's a lot of young players in this squad still. You know, we still class these. You know, Anthony Martial has been at United for 3 seasons now. We class him as a bit of a veteran of the side, but he's still a very young lad. You know, this season he's been hot and cold. Recently he's been absolutely in flying form. 4 shots, 3 goals. You're looking, wow, this guy is a world beater.
Did you say this season has been hot and cold?
I think the inconsistency of the cold. You could take the first half against Newcastle. Second half against Newcastle is amazing. Hot and cold. Similar thing there. And with United right now,
Brighton was garbage.
I think that's the problem with the team, where you need to, you know, they need to come together, and someone like Fred in midfield would be a good boost to that. Fred's a player that can consistently receive it and give it, give it. And I think United right now are lacking someone like that. Matic was good against Chelsea defensively, but on the ball, you know, you're lacking something there. And if Fred can come in, the consistencies of the side will go out. You look at all the great sides, there's always have a consistent guy that's going to get on the ball in midfield and play. And I feel United lack that at the moment. That's one of the reasons why they're inconsistent stylistically, because they lack someone like that. I think Paul Pogba could play that role, but sometimes we get some good stuff, sometimes we get some bad stuff with Pogba. Still quite a young central midfielder, being 25. You're thinking you hit him, you prime, you know, maybe 26, 27, 28. So there's still some work to be done there. But I think Fred into the side would help United's consistency and alleviate this problem.
A quote from Jose Mourinho in the press conference. I think Anthony Martial is like the team. The team is playing fine, Martial playing fine. It's easier for individuals to play well when the team is playing well. He has been involved when the team played well, and he played well too, which is a good point. The front 3 are only going to be as good as the 8 players behind them, surely.
It's the same as a goalkeeper, isn't it? That you can see a goalkeeper can look terrible if he's given tons and tons of shots to deal with, and he lets a couple in, he looks awful. The same way as that the whole team is geared up to defending, the whole team is geared up to attacking and putting it on a plate for the centre forward. Ideally, you don't want your centre forward running all over the pitch and putting tackles in on the halfway line. You want him to stand there on the penalty spot and just bang everything away that comes in. I've got a hypothesis though for you about why we play better in the second halves. I reckon that we've probably lost a lot with Rufaria going, and even though we've got some exciting young coaches, they're inexperienced, and maybe they've not quite got the full opposition scouting down in terms of getting Jose the notes maybe, or maybe we've even got an absolutely banging video analysis team, and they're feeding back information at half-time that we're finding useful, finding weaknesses, finding things to go on ahead with in the second half, because there's no other explanation for it, really. It's mad how we're coming out. It's even that, I don't think Jose's doing like Braveheart stuff on the back of a horse, shouting and everything and getting everyone geared up for the second half. I reckon it's probably way more technical than that, and I reckon it's something the lads doing a video analysis.
But at the same time, with Rufaria last year, we were
did you just say the manager was not to blame then?
We was way more inconsistent this season than I've ever seen us. We're flip-flopping from formation, different starting 11s, different philosophies, and we're attacking better than we have previously. We scored 1 less goal than Liverpool this season, but they've only conceded 3 and we've conceded 16. That's the massive differences, and I wonder if Rufaria was responsible for a lot of the defensive actions that we're getting, and maybe that there's no one took that mantle up just yet, because defensively we are shocking at the moment.
Some would say agenda. Anyway, moving on.
Oh, agenda. Pure facts.
Viva Ronaldo! The plane worked.
Who's he?
The plane worked, Stephen Howson. Cristiano Ronaldo is coming home. He's coming back to Old Trafford. I thought about this earlier. Listen, he will be the only player on the pitch to have won a Champions League for Manchester United on Tuesday, assuming he starts. Guys, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Unless John Terry comes.
How do we keep a hold of Cristiano Ronaldo? Statman Dave.
I think it's a different proposition than last season. He's a little bit more creative for Juve. He's still been directly involved in 9 goals in 9 Serie A games, but if you look at how many chances creating per game, it's gone up. There was a game, I think Napoli, that I watched where he pretty much had about 2 or 3 chances that he gave to his teammates on a plate. So Ronaldo's a little bit different than what he was last season. I'd say more of a pure goal scorer last season for Real Madrid, where now he's been a little bit more creative for Juve. It means you need to be a little bit more touch tight. He's getting involved in the build-up, with Pjanic, with Alexandro. He's coming a little bit deeper. So it would be, it's all pretty much on Ashley Young. You'd say if Ashley Young's going to start a right back, if he plays as well as he did against Eden Hazard at the weekend, which is absolutely fantastic performance against Chelsea, then you're looking all right. But Ashley Young sometimes against these types of players gets a little bit too geared up to closing them down, where he may need to stand off and say the back four. I thought he played well against Hazard, but Ronaldo is a different proposition. Did well against Salah, and that's the really weird thing about Ashley Young for United this season. So poor against Newcastle the week before, and then arguably man of the match against Chelsea. And we need that Ashley Young that played against Chelsea, not the Ashley Young that played against Newcastle.
There was no argument that Ashley Young was man of the match.
Well, yeah, there is, because it was one matter. It was one matter easily.
Exactly, so there's no argument that he was man of the match, is what I'm saying. Get it?
No. What I would say is sometimes I think the system benefits United and Ashley Young especially, but he's got a massive player to mark, like he did with Salah last season, like he had with Hazard this season. I think that United sit and look to counter, and Ashley Young is a beneficiary of that. You see Matic getting over and helping him out in there. You see Marcus Rashford was helping him out this time with Hazard, and last season with Salah as well. You're seeing multiple players getting involved, and it's Ashley Young that gets the praise for it. I don't want to see us setting up, and that's why you don't see it against
completely
Newcastle.
Blind to the fact that he made the most tackles for Man United, made the most interceptions for Man United, consistently did well versus Hazard. We're just going to forget that fact and pretend that it's just a system thing when one individual plays well, because it goes against your agenda, Stephen.
Correct.
We're going to go to Dave now. We're going to go to CheekySport Dave, because I'm sick of Statman Dave. But what I will say, I think Ashley Young's one of those guys that if you give him a job and say stick to that guy, because of his work ethic, because of his attitude, he's going to stick to him. But as a fullback, as a natural fullback, he's not a fullback, he's not great. It's CheekySport Dave. How do we stop Cristiano Ronaldo?
Mate, it's gonna have to be one of those Jose Mourinho man marking masterclasses. To be honest with you, that's the only way.
Mourinho marking him's ballsy, mate. I'm going to tell you that. That's ballsy. I would have said run him over. I reckon that's probably going to be way more effective than Mourinho. Mourinho's in his 50s.
Did you not see him slap that Ollie Mers, mate, at Old Trafford? Didn't do it, he put in a shift, mate.
Did he just compare Ollie Mers to Ronaldo? So he did, didn't he?
I know, but for real though, I think it's going to have to be one of those. And I think he's probably going to have to get somebody on the field that can do that kind of job, like Statman Dave was saying, in an Ashley Young. If he doesn't want to put an Ashley Young in there, he's going to have to put in somebody there like an Ander Herrera to actually shepherd Ronaldo the majority of the game. But let's be honest, it's a tough one, because it's
Is he still world class, Dave?
Who?
What?
Cristiano.
This is a question that's been put down in front of me. Producer Chris wants me to ask people
in the bin.
So shall I just throw this iPad away now?
Trash. Throw it, let it go. The new one's coming out
Sorry,
next week.
Chris, no one's answering your question.
It's a flat track bullet. He's never done it in more than one league. So gets a bit of experience.
Why did he ever leave us?
Let's move on.
Dale.
No, but honestly,
You got your playing banner ready for Tuesday?
It's going to be a tough job. It's going to be a tough day at the office. But, you know what I mean? We're just going to have to do it.
I definitely said Dale there, Dave.
Yeah.
I think trying to control Ronaldo is just that impossible dancing. You know, looking at our defence, which Mourinho wanted to strengthen, it's an absolute mess. Right? And you can have your Ashley Young playing at his best, but still not going to control Ronaldo. You know, we're talking about examples of Hazard and Salah. Again, we're talking about Ronaldo here. Different level altogether. And you can talk about his age, that he's not the same player as he was maybe 2-3 years ago. He's still world class. He's still one of the best players in the world. And it's going to take our entire back four, communication at a high standard, at the top of their game. I'm not confident of that. And we're talking about the return of Ronaldo. They also have Man Utd, maybe Dybala. So if you can take Ronaldo out of the game, you're also looking at 2 other quality attackers as well. So look, I'm just not confident in our defence on Tuesday night.
Because even though he is top goal scorer, Dybala and Mandzukic have a lot of goals this season. It's kind of showing that if Serie A defences are being attracted more to Cristiano Ronaldo than Mandzukic, Dybala are benefiting from that, even though I know most of Dybala's goals have come in the Champions League. Oh man. It's just going to have to be... Remember Messi I know Messi was at his peak, but remember 2008 when we went through in the Champions League semi-final? Yeah. And it was just kind of a bit of luck and a bit of just throwing yourself at everything.
It was down to Wes Brown being an absolute hero that night. Oh.
True say.
And they wouldn't have scored if they were still playing now, 10 years later. They wouldn't have scored because Wes Brown was having it.
Anyway, on that note, we're going to an ad break. And we're back. You know what time it is now, don't you, Steve?
Half two.
Predicted 11. Well, no, it's not half two. It's predicted 11 time. And we want to know your 11s now. This league table. Mo Butt's at the top of the league table. CheekySport Dave's coming in at second, but you've only been in one preview, Dave.
Come on!
You need to be in 5 by the end of the season to have a chance of winning.
I'm now above Statman Dave. Suck it, loser.
But I think, pound for pound, top of the league is Dale O'Donnell. 8.8 points from 4 appearances. Dale, on that note, what's your team?
Right, I'm going to stick with De Gea. Young at right back. I think he hasn't got many options there. Valencia, I think, is just shot at the moment. He's finished. This is his last season United, I hope. Small in the centre half. Small and Lindelof. I think he'll stick with that. Although I think Barry should get a look in. And Shaw, left back. In midfield, I think it's going to be hard to find that balance because, Matt did so well at the weekend, and I don't think you can take him out of the team. Matic and Pogba, but then again, I want Pogba to be given that freedom to attack like he was in the second half because that's when he hurt Chelsea. If you start Matt as well, I think it's going to be difficult to rely on Matic just to do that defensive job on his own. I'm going to go with Matic and Pogba anyway. Up front, the same as Chelsea, Rashford, Lukaku and Martial.
Tony Marshall.
Unchanged,
Tony
basically.
Marshall. You know what's interesting?
Yeah, unchanged.
Do you remember the time of 4-0 FC? Our midfield three at that point was Matic, Mata and Pogba. And whenever we seem to play better, it's with Mata in the team in a central position.
I think it's...
Mkhitaryan now was a 10 then? Mata on the right wing.
Play much.
Was Mata on the right?
Yeah, he didn't play in the middle.
Yeah.
I thought he was more central. Mickey on the right, but
I still think it's difficult to get that balance if you're going to start Mata as well in certain games, because you want Pogba to give him that free roam to attack and to hurt teams. But it's going to be hard to do that with Matt in the team as well. It's just one of those.
It's interesting we're talking about Ronaldo returning. Pogba's playing against his old club again for the first time.
Can you lot name, get in the comments, every player that's played for United and Juventus? There's 6 that I can think of. I'll give you Ronaldo. And Pogba.
Evra.
And Evra.
Pogba. All right, we'll leave the rest. Anyway, Dave, what's your team, mate?
You know what? I was going to go completely unchanged as well, but I'm going to throw in Eric Bailly instead of Victor at the back there. So I'm going to go completely unchanged as
completely unchanged with a change.
A little change, a little, little Raz. You got to sprinkle something new on there. You know what I mean? I'll throw in Eric Bailly in there for Victor Lindelof. I just think he's got. I think it's a game. It's a game that obviously we always expect to win, but it's a game in which he can give Eric Bailly that game to play. At the same time, Eric Bailly has got that European experience for playing teams in Europe, so to speak. So I'd rather have him in there than a Victor Lindelof, and that's what I'm going with.
So Bailly, would you have Bailly in the team?
I'd love to see Bailly playing regular and in form. I don't know what's going on with him and Jose at the moment. I don't think they're on each other's Christmas card list. I wish they could kiss, make up and get himself back in the team because we need an angry nutcase like that in defence. Every team needs an angry nutbed, don't they?
Rojo's about as well.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with him either.
You know what, yeah? I forgot he was about till I saw that True Religion advert. And then I was like, oh, freaking heck. Rojo, he's still out here.
Last time I wore True Religion jeans was 2006. I felt so good then. United need to forget it. Why are you doing bringing back True Religions?
Yeah, sure, we'll promote that for you. Yeah, not a problem.
We're not promoting it. Anyway, whose team haven't we done? Statman Dave's, right? Statman Dave. Time to shine.
Give me one of them 2 players, Dave.
It'll be similar to what we sort of saw at the weekend. I think there will be maybe one slight change. Rashford went down with a bit of an injury, so I kind of see Sanchez coming in to that 3 behind Lukaku. Probably will
just to say, Sanchez didn't train today as we're recording this, and Jose said in his press conference that there's nothing serious, but he's probably out. Make of that what you will. Just playing games with you there. Pick him if you want.
You stumped him.
Well, Alexis Sanchez is a number 10 behind Romelu Lukaku. I think that'll be a good way to maybe unlock Juventus. Pjanic plays as a deep-lying sort of playmaker, so if you've got someone in and around him that can press him but also look to exploit the space on the counter-attack, that could be quite good. Sanchez well has got a half-decent record against Juve, 2 goals in 3 games. So if he is fit, I'd start him. If he's not fit, I'd probably go with Rashford if he's going to be starting Juan Mata as a number 10 again. But I'd quite like to see Mata, Sanchez and Pogba all in sort of that central area, making a little bit of a triangle in the middle of the park. Obviously, the other things that you've probably got to talk about is Smalling and Lindelof. Can they deal with someone like Cristiano Ronaldo? We saw that final goal that kind of killed the game in a way, killed momentum for Manchester United with Smalling not going up to win that ball in the box. And the problem you got with Ronaldo and Mandzukic is they're 2 players that are dominant in the air. Victor Lindelof, that's his weakness. Chris Smalling didn't look hungry enough on the 95th minute to win that ball and win the game for Man United. So that's going to be the big issue. Juventus crossing, looking to get the balls in the box for Mandzukic and Ronaldo. Smalling and Lindelof, that scares me a lot. Whether Nemanja Matic can drop back, whether even Mourinho will go for someone like Marouane Fellaini just to help out there. I could see that happening, maybe pushing Pogba ahead if Sanchez isn't fit. Maybe that's a better solution to that problem. But again, scary times for Manchester United. Ronaldo, Mandzukic versus Smalling and Victor Lindelof.
I'm not coming to the game.
No, why Smalling doesn't look hungry enough? Because he's a pissing vegan.
And he's crap. How about that? Just put that out there. Like, he's not great. Do you know what I mean? Chris Smalling.
Who'd buy him if they came in?
Chris Smalling is our best centre half.
Who's getting him? Oldham?
Would he start for any top 10 team apart from Man United?
Championship top 10.
This is what we're saying. Like, he wouldn't get into Fulham's team at the moment.
Of course, he'd get into Fulham's team. They're leaking
Wouldn't
goals.
get into Maidstone's team anymore.
We're leaking goals. We've conceded more than we scored with him.
I'm better than Smalling.
And the best goalkeeper in the world behind him. Not a traffic cone.
I didn't realise
Me. I ain't done mine.
Oh, God, not your team.
Right then. This isn't the team I think we'll see, because I think we'll see Young and I think we'll see Fellaini, and I don't want none of that. I'm going to go with Freight back, and I'm going to go and bring Eric Bailly back because I want to bring him back and actually have a good defender in defence. And then, Max and Paddy next to him with Smalling and Lindelof. I want to see Valencia at right back and really just tucking in and making an extra defender, really, because let's be honest, he offers us about as much as I offer standing in the tier 2 of the Stretford end going forward. Left back Luke Shaw. And then in midfield, I'd like to see Fredge and I'd like to see Herrera.
Did you just call Fred Fridge?
Yep, Fredge. Alongside Herrera and Paul Pogba, but like Dave said, you're probably going to see Marouane Fellaini because of the aerial threat offered by a lot of the Juventus team. And it might work out. I hope it does work out, but I don't want to see him. And then up front, I'd go with the 2 up front, and I'd go with Tony Marshall, and I'd go with Big Rom. Just to try and split that Juventus defence and put them under a little bit of pressure on the counter a little bit. And the reason why I'm playing Herrera, Fred and Pogba is because I think they're players that they can do the defensive side, which they're 100% going to have to do a lot of on Tuesday night, over someone like Mata, who I think struggles a little bit with the physical and the defensive side. But they can also play a ball. And that's the thing that I think we lack. We've got to get it into that final third, got to get it in behind that Juventus defence, and that's how we're going to create some chances. And we'll get in behind them by having Lukaku operating like the right channel, Marshall operating in the left channel, and that's how I'd go at them. But I fully expect like 4-5-1 and Fellaini and Young.
Can't wait for Marshall to rip Juventus apart. That's all I will say. Right, Juventus time. Who's the main man in Juventus apart from Cristiano Ronaldo? Obviously, we've already discussed him. Who you worried about? Dybala, Mandzukic. Who's the threat?
Yeah.
Go on, Dave. Statman Dave, what stats you got for us?
No stats, more tactics. I think Juve have set up in a reasonably interesting formation this season. It looks like a 4-3-3 on paper. Ronaldo on the left, Dybala on the right, Mandzukic through the middle, but it pretty much interchanges into a diamond where Dybala will move into that sort of number 10 area. Mandzukic will have support with Cristiano Ronaldo, and then the midfield three will stay as a midfield three. Again, Dybala's had a little bit of a poor season. He's only scored 1 goal in Serie A this season. His hat-trick came in the Champions League when Ronaldo didn't actually play. Although he has linked the counter-attack really well, it feels almost like the team is now geared through Ronaldo and still being geared through Dybala. Whether Allegri can sort that out or he goes to Real Madrid in January, that's all been tipped up around Europe. That is pretty much on the cards, January or in next summer. So again, it's going to be interesting to see how that sort of evolves for Manchester United. Players that you've got to watch out for, of course, Pjanic at defensive midfield. He's a guy that controls everything. He runs the show. He plays almost 2 workman-like midfielders with him in the 3. It's either, Khedira or someone like an Emre Can with Matuidi. Emre Can luckily is out of the game. Emre Can's been very, very good for Juventus this season, allows the likes of Cancelo and Alexandro to get forward. Cancelo's a player that's really impressed me though for Juventus this season, getting into the final third. A tricky customer, good on the right foot, good on the left foot, can go either way, and he's almost like that modern day fullback, like a Marcelo that's almost a playmaker in the final third that will open up space for the opposition, will create these chances. So that's kind of where I'd say Juve, a bit of a diamond, width from their fullbacks, Dybala drifting in, Ronaldo, Mandzukic up front, and transition to a 4-5-1 and look really good on the break. So United have got a lot to deal with, a lot of different tactical nuances that Mourinho's got to be like, that's how we deal with that, this is how we deal with that. But it's going to be a very difficult game for Manchester United.
Now, we know Juventus drew 1-1 with Genoa at the weekend, although they did rest a few players. Dale, United have come up against some great Juventus teams over the years. But do you think this is the best one?
Well, look, in the last 2 years, they've been thereabouts in Europe, haven't they? It's like they're just on the edge of winning that European Cup, and that's why they went out to sign arguably the best player in the world. So I think having that Ronaldo addition will weigh the argument their way, but I'm not quite sure if it's the best all around. We're talking about teams that had like Zidane and all that in it, so it's a tough one to answer. But look, I think what's difficult is this isn't one of the best United teams that come up against Juventus, and that's what's going to be the real struggle, and maybe will make this Juventus side look a lot better. So the challenge is arguably more significant side by side, but it's a tough question. But Ronaldo definitely weighs the argument maybe this side's way. Who
do you fear? Obviously, apart from Ronaldo, from
yeah, I'm going to try to pronounce his name. Pjanic, or is that the guy in midfield? But
Pjanic.
that deep lying playmaker. Look, he's going to cause problems, and as Dave said, the two kind of workman-like midfielders, it gives him the chance to kind of dictate play from that deep role. And if he can give the service to the attacking players, he could be a major threat. Now, Jorginho at the weekend at Chelsea, he can dictate play the same way, but Juan Mata was able to kind of get in the way of his play quite a bit. And even though he can do that, that'll slow down the attacking process of Juventus. So, but again, as Dave said, they've so many standout players. It's going to be difficult tactically for United to stop one and not let another one make much of a difference.
CheekySport Dave, weigh in.
Mate, listen, that question about whether or not this is the strongest Juve side, listen, it puts fear into my bones. I can't even lie. I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, obviously we had teams.
It could be in it.
Piero, we had teams with Edgar Davids. Like there was beautiful Juve sides in the late 90s, early 2000s are absolutely incredible. But when I think about this team, like Del just said with that addition of Cristiano Ronaldo, but Dybala, Bonucci, Pjanic, Douglas Costa, Mandzukic, like my heart just shudders at what's going on here. So it's not going to be an easy game. But we just need to go out there and play our game. That's what. Look, sometimes like we get so obsessed with what the other team, what's going on the other side. And I think we need to go out there and impose ourselves on this game. We're playing at home. This is Manchester United. It doesn't matter who we're playing.
We can't rely on our own defence, can we? So we might as well try and
leave Dave alone. The players will be watching this getting hyped, let me tell you.
I'm agreeing with him. Play our game, because we can't contain a team like that, Juventus. We might as well try and outshoot them.
That's the reality. We got and even as fans, we just got to go there tomorrow and bring the noise, bring the excitement. Don't get too gassed up about the return of Cristiano, but try and put pressure on the team through the fact that Ronaldo's coming back home. Use Old Trafford as an extra player in the field there, because listen, let's be real about it. That team is stacked. The team is absolutely stacked, like completely. So we just have to go out there and blow them out of the water. Just do our thing. Play our game.
I got a feeling.
And just do it. You know what I mean?
Tomorrow's going to be one of the best atmospheres we've had in a while. I don't know why, but I just got a feeling. Any weaknesses we should exploit?
The centre-half partnership isn't the fastest, but it depends how high a line that they're going to play. I haven't seen them in any of the big games this year where they've had to try and they don't really sit back. So I want to see, can we get in behind a Juve team? Are they going to come and sit and hold and take the draw and try and exploit us on any of the opportunities that they get, or are they going to come and flood forward and try and beat us? I don't know what we're going to get from them. But what I will say is, in terms of, is this team the best Juventus team that we faced? God no. Absolutely God no.
It's not that bad of a question.
No, it's not that bad of a team either. But the team that we beat in 1999, in that season, in the semi-final of the Champions League, the reason why that comeback was so unbelievable was because that Juventus team, for about 3 years, was the best team in the world by an absolute country mile. It was ridiculous that United could even go toe-to-toe with them, let alone come back from being goals down in Turin against them. That was why 1999 was so special, because we beat the best of the best. Juventus at that time, I think coefficient-wise, was as dominant as Barcelona was like 10 years ago. That's what the sort of level of footballing team that you're talking about. People will forget that because we put them out, but they shouldn't have been.
But this Juventus team has one of, I know they've lost Buffon, but one of the best defences about.
It's a hell of a team, but that team was
their
better.
Midfield is still very.
And that team had also won the Champions League.
The front line's got the best player ever, so you know. Anyway,
and Ronaldo.
They haven't got Fellaini in their team. What are you talking
Mandzukic, haven't they?
Anyway, moving on to score prediction time now. Dave, you're going to gaze into one of them balls for me and find out what the score is going to be.
I'm going for 3-2 United. 3-2. Let's do it. 3-2 United. Let's go for a high-scoring game. Excitement, passion, drive. A 3-2 win. 5 goals. Beautiful.
When Del Piero scored after 26 seconds, we beat them 3-2. What a game that was.
Was that where Giggs hit one with the outside of his left foot?
Yeah, and it went right in the roof of the net. It was an amazing shot. One of my earliest memories of Champions League football. Dale, your score prediction, please.
2-1 Juventus.
Don't do it to me!
He just broke it, Dave.
I don't know what noise his head was. Someone just popped him.
Statman.
2-1 United.
Oh. Stop hitting the table.
0-0.
Is it 0-0?
This ain't going to be 0-0.
I don't know what it's going to be.
It's going to be 1-1.
I'll turn up and hope for the best. That's what I'm going to do.
It's going to be 1-1. We're going to have a heroic defensive performance. We're going to be 1-0 up. We're going to concede late. By Chris Morley. And then, yeah, it's going to be disappointing, but it'll be a good game, I think. Yeah, but that's it from today, guys. You enjoy that?
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, everybody. Cannot wait for the Champions League night. Under the floodlights at Old Trafford, Manchester United against Juventus. These are the games we live for, innit? The players, everybody. You can't get up for these games. You may as well forget it. Remember, we're going to have fan cams, all the match coverage after the game. We may even get a little bit of Bush action before the match as well with Bush Cam. Thank you to CheekySport Dave for joining us. Make sure you subscribe to Cheeky Sports channel. Thank you to Statman Dave for joining us as well. Subscribe to his channel and go and check out Stretty News TV and Stretty News, the blog where Dale's thoughts can be found. This guy's on YouTube too, and make sure you're subscribing to Full Time Devils. For now though, guys, we have been Full Time Devils. The Sky Bet link is in the description below, and for now, we're out of here.